very good. So thank you so much, guys, for gracing yourself for this amazing class. This is a live class. Okay, so mostly we're going to talk about design principles, typography, and color theory. And this will be the most interesting thing that you can ever learn, because life revolves around design, color. We can say typography. Okay, and we're going to learn about a lot of things that some of you will wow you. For some of you, maybe who have a background in everything I'm going to share, maybe not so much wowed, but you will add something. So straight away, my name is Siloma, for those who do not know me. The reason why you're here, it's because I understand the struggle of being a photographer, being a creative in this country. And for the longest time, I've self-taught myself. My background is in software engineering. But I wanted to be things that are go. So I did not get enough resources. So my mission is to create 1,000 successful businesses through my training. I offer them for free. And very soon I'm going to start charging them, because not so many people, value things. It's so sad that, tell someone, what, I'm going to teach you for free. Go apply everything. Sadly, most people are not valuing this. So Bright Academy is simply a knowledge hub, free upskilling program by Bright Consulting Limited. Bright Consulting Limited is my company, and I offer free training. Services that I do is digital marketing, web development, software development, everything in that creative space. And I'm looking to venture into amazing things in the future. So my biggest resolve is me, Silonga, is that you should not die with your talent and skills. You are given to them free, so freely should you pass them on. So, as I said, Bright Consulting, we are an award-winning web design company in Kenya. We are known for, branding, graphic design, UI UX design, and digital marketing, also software development, and all those things. So you can go check out on our website at brightconsulting.com. So, usually quote so many people. Today I said, let me quote myself. So you have an innate power to achieve anything in life. You can and you will. Never limit the you haven't explored. So we're going to learn about the 12 principles of design. From then, the 12 principles, we are going to learn about the elements of design. From the elements, we're going to go a little to typography. I'll teach you what typography really means. It's not just fonts. Okay. Then you're going to color. We are going to color. We learn about color. What color is. What is color theory? Types of color. Color space. Color harmonies. Color models. Psychology of colors. What blue means. What red means, what black means, and all those things. It's going to be a very interesting class. So just keep tuned, and I assure you, you're going to learn a lot. So you can achieve good design without knowing design principles. Okay. For the longest time, I've never known these design principles. I came to learn about them after I have, served, I don't know, my 200th client or 300th client, okay? Because I'm like, this should be here, this should be here. but you do not know the really principles why this one should be here. So creating something that looks good may require plenty of trial and error if you do not know these design principles, because you'll be like, I want this one to look like this, but I do not know how. So you'll spend a lot of time in your design. As a photographer, you'll spend a lot of time in your shot because you do not know the principles of design. Photo is design. Interior design, same thing. Arranging something in your house, you will need to apply the principles of design. So principles of design are fundamentals, guidelines and concepts that help artists, designers, and creators organize and arrange the elements of their work to achieve visual harmony, balance, and effectiveness. These principles apply to various design principles: graphics, web design, interior, fashion, and more. Okay? So because it applies to so many fields of study, there are many principles of design, but we've just narrowed them to 12. So some of the important ones are what we're going to learn today. I just narrowed them to 12, the 12 major ones. So the first one is balance. So sometimes as a interior designer, a photographer, a creative, even as you're wearing your house, even if when you're wearing your clothes, you will look and say, you know what, something is off. So there's something called balance. Balance can make or break your design. It's one of the key ingredients in making your design look good. So it refers basically on the distribution of visual weight in composition. It can be symmetrical, equal on both sides, asymmetrical, unequal or balanced, or radial, balanced around a central point. You see, even when they serve food in these big restaurants and hotels, they apply the principles of design in serving your food. That's why you will find, the castillo takes a certain proportion, the rice, all these things. They apply all the principles, most of the principles of design, because if they just did it, you wouldn't have found that food so interesting. So design is what makes you drawn to something, even for a car. For you to purchase that car, you must have loved the design. So that's why design is for everyone. And that's why this class is for everyone. So those are the diagrams for, symmetric design. It's equal on both sides. We have 4 dots here on this side, and they're balanced. Asymmetrical, we have 4 dots here and 1 here. So it means that this one will cut across and balance the 4 that are on the left. So this is an example of balance in a website. Because this is a web design class, we're going to have just examples of websites. So this is a symmetrical design. We have one big design here, and we have, a small design there. So it balances off. So the second principle is emphasis. So you can look at a design and you realize that you're being drawn towards a particular part. It's something that draws you to that specific part. It's also known as focal point or dominance. It directs your attention to a specific element or area within the design. This point of focus stands out and carries the most significance, helping conveying the main message or purpose of the design. Let's say in a website, I have a public notice and I need people to view this notice because it's important. I will ensure that I emphasize on it. You can see we have several green circles and we have one purple one. So automatically the purple one creates more emphasis. So example of emphasis in a website. As you can see on the left snippet, you're automatically drawn towards the product. Okay, how they have they've ensured that there's a lot of white space around the product. There's just text, and the graphics that are on the right are very small. So at a glance, you will just see the toothbrush and all those things that are around there. On the right one, even before the big photo, you will just be moved to the build something title. Okay, so the third is proportion. Proportion refers to the size relationships between elements in a design. It helps create the sense of harmony and visual stability. Most of you know what proportion is. You can see in the first image, a man cannot be on the same proportion as a house. Why? Because a house is bigger than a human being, generally speaking, if it's a big house. So you will see that's a bad proportion. But if the person came close to the camera and the house was behind, the man will be bigger. Okay, that's a good proportion. The second example is that, we can't have one eye that is bigger than the other one. That's bad proportion. A good proportion will be both eyes will be the same. But on the left, if we had a patch, that will be good proportion. So example of proportion in a website, you can see on the left, we have one big image, and you see we have, is it a menu? Yes, it's a navigation menu on the left. So there's how it creates good proportion with the image that is on the right. So movement just refers to the visual flow that will guide your eye through the composition. This can be achieved through various techniques such as movement and arrangement of elements, directional clues, or implied motion. As you can see, automatically, these are the first image on the left. These are just circles that they reduce in size as they go further. And the dotted line will imply motion in them. On the right one, we just have squares, rather rectangles that are just drawn. But because the first one is falling on the other, it will imply that all this will fall. So my mind is processing that all the rectangles will fall. So example of movement in a website, you can see how this has really blended. You can see 01, 02, 03. You can see how the design blended this using italicized text. So you can see 01, 02, 03, and how the images look to be slanting. Okay, so because the visual hierarchy is usually your eyes scan from left to right, and then bottom to left, bottom right to bottom left. Left. Okay, it's called the Z visual hierarchy, where your eyes will scan from top left to top right, and then it will go to bottom left and then bottom right. So it's called the Z motion. So when I'm scanning this text, the first thing I'll see is 1. I move to 2 and 3. Then the next thing I will see is my name is Abby, and then right. So when you are doing movement on your site, or you're doing your design, you're supposed to know the visual hierarchy of how the human eye scans things. Okay, don't put something very important on the bottom right. So you will need to either place it on the top left or bottom left, okay, depending on how you want that thing to be noticed. So contrast involves using differences in elements such as color, size, shape, or texture to create visual interest and make certain elements stand out. High contrast draws attention and enhances the overall impact of the design. As you can see in the first image, we have a color contrast. There's a very, very good contrast between the inner circle, which is pink, and the surrounding background, which is, what is that, green? Yes, I'm colorblind, so please don't hate me for that. So we have a shape contrast, as you can see in the second image. There is a surrounding background of, circles, and we have an inner square. So it creates very good contrast on that. So we have scale contrast, surrounding circles, and one small circle. So there's very, very good harmony in that. So example of contrast in a website, as you can see, we have the first image. We have the backgrounds as blue. We have names of towns, okay? And we have their icons or other sketches. And on the bottom right, we have a type contrast where we have the main heading being bold and the paragraph is not as bold, it's on regular text. So the second principle of design is repetition, which involves the use of recurring visual elements such as patterns, colors, or shapes to create a sense of unity and consistency throughout the design. It helps establish a rhythm and reinforces the overall message. So you can see the first row, there are green circles that repeat themselves in the third and in the fifth rows. The same happens to the three circles in the second row that repeat themselves in the fourth and in the sixth rows. iPhone, they love repetition, which makes it so amazing. So amazing. If you go view the iPhone, the Apple website and the iPhone landing page, you will see the repetition that makes it so glimmering. You can also view the white space around it that creates also emphasis in it. You can see even how the fonts repeat each other. They are in proportion. Proportion is also another design principle. So from one website, you can see a lot of design principles being implemented. So we have rhythm. Rhythm is a repetition and variation of visual elements to create a sense of organized movement and pattern in the design. It establishes a dynamic and engaging composition. Now, we've talked about pattern, repetition. Repetition says it helps establish what? A rhythm. Okay. When you go to rhythm says rhythm is the repetition and variation of visual elements. So you get to find that some design principles, they work with others as well, because pattern is also a design principle. So you can see how the rhythm happens. In the we have two circles, there's a pause, two circles with a pause, and the same for the rest. On the right, we have even frequencies and uneven frequencies that bring harmony in the rhythm. So an example of that in a website is something like this website that talks about art classes and camps for kids. Okay, you can see these elements, they sort of create a rhythm and then being uneven. Okay, so you can imagine adding animation in them and what you can create in them. So Unity ensures that all elements in a design work together cohesively and create a sense of harmony and completeness. It ties the various parts of the design into a single integrated whole. Okay, now we will read about color schemes. See, the first one is Unity from analogous color scheme. So you find that the first five circles, they are colors in an analogous color scheme. We're going to talk about all that. I don't want to mess you up with a lot of things. And then we find the second one, these are just colors that are mixed together, so they don't form unity because they don't complement each other. Okay. So example of unity in a website is something like this website. As you can see, all these t-shirts, they are of a specific color. Okay, they are sort of mute colors, except maybe the white, but we say white is not a color, it's the absence of color. Depends on how you look at it. So you can see all of them, they are of a certain color. They are using a specific hanger. All of them same hanger, and they are at the same place. So that's an example of unity. So variety involves around the intentional use of diversity and contrast to create interest, intrigue, and visual excitement within a composition. By incorporating a wide range of elements such as colors, shape, textures, sizes, patterns, designers can infuse vitality and dynamism into their work. You can see we can have different shapes, like on the first image, we have a triangle, we have a circle, that's a star, we have a dotted circle, we have a square. On the image, on the next image, we have, you see, just those elements that show variety, and the next are uniform circles that show unity. Okay, so examples of variety in a website, we have different elements and layouts. Okay, you see on the top left, there's a blog section with a very big featured image. Okay, that's, let's just standalone website. And then we have a list, just at the middle. We have a list of small thumbnails. Okay, on the right, we have a wide featured image with text aligned on the left. On the first one, we had text aligned on the right. Okay, so those are examples of variety we have in a website. So pattern, it involves the repetition of visual elements to create a sense of rhythm, unity, and cohesiveness within a composition. Patterns can be formed using various elements such as shapes, lines, textures, which is arranged in a systematic and orderly manner. Examples are things like, Ankara, Vitenges, and all these things. All those are patterns that really form form a very good design principle. Also in photography, you can look at your landscape. Let's say I'm a landscape photographer and I am shooting, let's say, stones. Okay, stones around a seasonal river may form a pattern that I might want to frame so well so that I can achieve an amazing output. So an example of pattern in a website, something like that, of this lady. On the left side, that's an analogous color code. Okay. The second one is this dress that she's wearing. We have that image in a gray background, same as the other one that is on the right. So hierarchy organizes elements in the design to show their order of importance and significance, helps guide the viewer's understanding and attention, making the content easily digestible. So hierarchy is more of organizations of the elements. You can see you can have a heading, you can have a subheading, and then you can have a body text. Okay, an example is something like this. Okay, we have an icon, why nifty. Okay, and then we have a subheading. Okay, and then we have steps. Okay, so as you scroll this page, you will go through, step one. Maybe we'll have an animation on the side that at the top there, as you can see, it takes you to top two. By the step two, by the time you're going down, you will have found that you would be complete and will have achieved a very good hierarchy in a website. So the last design principle is what we call white space. White space is the empty or unused space around elements in design. White space is also called negative space. This is what I love. This is one of my best design principles because I love minimalism in my design. It enhances, readability and contributes to the overall balance and visual clarity of the design. So, example of white space, as you can see, we have left column, completely nothing. The next column can see there's text. The next column there's just text. At the middle, the other one has a little bit of content with breathing space up and down, and the last column has nothing at all. So those are the design principles that constitute what a design is all about. So in any design, you can see them play a very, very, very good balance. You can see a balance, you can see emphasis, you can see proportion being used, you can see variety, you can see a unity, you can see patterns, you can see white space, and all these things. Okay. So what makes these design principles? So there are things we call elements of design that help you achieve these design principles. Okay, so let us dive into them and see which one they are. So one is point. A point in itself is an abstract object which is not tangible. It cannot be seen or felt. A point doesn't have an area, hence a point's coordinates define it. Okay, so let's say I have a shamba, a garden. Okay, I can have a point in the garden. Okay, so that will just be a place in the garden. Okay, I really want you to be with me on this. Okay, because I don't want to use this XY axis to remind some people of mathematics in school, and maybe you had a very, very bad relationship with maths. So I have a shamba, I have a garden. There's just one specific point that you have. That's now what we call a point. If I have 4 points, they are just points if I do not relate to them. But if I have 4 points and they are related, I can form what? An area. Okay? I have explained what a point is. Let's move next. A line. Lines are the most basic element, and they can be straight, curved, abstract. It is curved or abstract. Lines can define shapes, create patterns, and guide the viewer's eye through the composition. So if I have 2 points, I can simply draw a line between them. So things are very, very, very simple. Class 4 stuff. So if you don't understand, you'll get these things in heaven. Shape, as I said, I can have 4 points and relate them, okay? And I can draw, let's say, a line between the 4 shapes. The four points, I will have a shape. I can have 3 points and I can draw a shape between them. So shapes are 2-dimensional and can be geometric, circles, squares, or organic, free-flowing, irregular shapes, and all these things. Okay, so these are the elements that also help us create the principles of design. So we have space. Space refers to the area around, in and around the design elements. It can be positive, occupied by elements, or negative, which is empty, or what we call white space. So you can see on the left, we have white space around objects, then cluster objects between, and then the second one is white space between objects. You can spread the objects, and then you can create a white space inside, a space inside an object. So form. So form are 3-dimensional versions of shapes, adding depth and volume to the design. They can be represented through shading, shadows, and perspective. So we said shape are 2-dimensional, form 3-dimensional. Okay, so it's simple: drawing a square versus drawing a cube. Okay, drawing a circle versus drawing a what? A cylinder. Drawing a rectangle versus drawing a cone. Okay, so you can have a 2D character. If you, let's say, draw a shadow, you can make it a 3D. So color, it's a very powerful element that evokes emotion and sets the moods of a design. It includes hue, the actual color, value, lightness or darkness, and saturation, which is intensity of purity. I am going to teach you about all this in this same class. So don't worry about hues, value, and saturation. Yes, so I don't really need to define color because everyone knows color. Okay, if you want to know more about the color, know what? Google about color. Look at yourself, look around you, all that is color. So there's a reason why when you go to a spa, you'll have different colors. When you go to a gym, you'll have different colors. If I use the same colors of a spa in a gym, I will not evoke that grit, that, powerful yarn to work out. Texture, which is the last principle of design. It adds what we call a tactile or visual quality to the design, creating the illustration of surfaces that can be rough, smooth, soft, or hard. There's a reason why when watching a movie, you can see someone fall on a very, very, very hard ground and you feel pain. Okay? And if that person was falling on, let's say, a very soft ground, on a pillowcase, you wouldn't feel it. Okay? That's the power of texture. Okay? And all these create the principles of design and the elements of design. So the elements add up to the principles of design. Okay, so you cannot achieve the principles of design without these 7 major elements. So we're going to move on, and after I finish, I'm going to give a Q&A session. Actually, I think this is our last theory class. From here, we are going fully, practical. We're going fully practical from here, and you will really enjoy the journey. So we're going to something called typography. Okay, most people don't know what typography is until we say fonts. They want us to say fonts so that they know what this is. So if you have any questions, just write them down so that when we get to the Q&A, you know exactly what we're talking about. So typography. So from today, you can add this to your vocabulary and know what a typography is. So typography simply refers to the font type you will choose for your design. Okay. So it's good to know these terms such that a client does not ask you, what typography will you use? And you're there, yeah? That's how you lose business. Okay. So I'm teaching you these things so that you can use them. Okay. When you're talking to clients, let's say it's a brand manual, you're talking about some stuff, use these terms. That's how clients know that you know, especially in this nation. Okay? So you find you're talking to a client, you're getting business, a client will ask you, and what is this? Okay, let's say you have an electrician in the house. They will tell you about a switch. They will tell you about what? About all these things. And then that's when you ask, and what is that? That's when they will explain to you all these things. Okay, and you will know, this guy knows. They know their craft. So learn how to use the industry terms. So serif fonts, Daily Nation newspaper. Okay, the font that is used there, the one that has feet at the top and at the bottom. They're like they have arcs. So these are the oldest and most basic. They're perfect for classic and professional use cases. Simply Times New Roman. Yeah, for designers, I was about to say, is it Libre Baskerville? Whatever, man. So the second type, we have sans serif. Sans serif is what you are seeing on your screen. They don't have the feet or many projections at the end of the strokes. They are widely used, especially in modern design. Good type is what we call pop-ins. Okay, I think I've used pop-ins to the end of this document because it's been a very long day doing this document. So we have scripts. Scripts are basically the fluid strokes of handwriting that can range from formal to very casual. They had a feminine feel to the brand. So I really love using accentuating my design with scripts. I think maybe I love the feminine feel. I don't know. Maybe. I think I should look into that. So we have decorative. This is the largest and most diverse. They're rarely used for lengthy blocks of text and normally used for signage and headings. Okay, so we're going to see about all this. So don't stress about cramming them. So serif fonts. Okay, that's how a serif font look like. They have these fields. They have these glyphs at the end. Sans serif, they're not smooth. Center, descender, baseline. Okay. So we have script fonts, Kellogg's logo. For those who do not know Kellogg's, go to any supermarket. Go to the side of cornflakes. Yes. Look for this logo, you'll see it. It's a script font. You also know what Kellogg is. So decorative is something like this. So let's talk about spacing and alignment. So spacing and alignment are critical aspects of typography that directly impact the legibility, readability, and overall aesthetics of fonts. They refer to how certain characters and lines are spaced and arranged in a text. So we have three elements of spacing. We have one, tracking, which is also called the letter spacing. Okay. Graphic designers, you've seen this in Photoshop. Okay. Tracking. Tracking is the uniform adjustment of spacing between characters. Line of block. Increasing tracking adds space between characters, while decreasing tightens the spacing. So when you track, when you increase the tracking, the letters will have good spacing. When you reduce, they will tighten the spacing. So proper tracking ensures the text is very easy and well readable. So we have canning. Canning is the adjustment of spacing between specific pairs of characters, often done to improve the visual balance between letters. It corrects irregular spacing, especially in combinations like AV or WA or also TO. Okay, where certain letters might appear awkwardly spaced. So if I did uniform tracking on my sentences, there are some letters that will look weird. Okay, because let's say AV, we have the A that slants and the V that comes like this. So if my tracking was uniform, it will look like this. So that's why we have canning that adjust between specific pairs of characters. So mostly you do not use these things because fonts, if you have well-written fonts, you see, these are things you don't really need to worry about unless, of course, you're doing crazy typography, logos, and all those things. Okay, so we have leading or line spacing. It refers to the vertical spacing between lines of text. Proper leading prevents lines from being too crowded or too spread out, enhancing readability. The ideal leading ensures that ascenders and descenders of letters do not collide with adjacent lines. So you can have a Y that is on top. So you have to ensure that you have good leading so that it does not collide with the second paragraph at the end. Okay. So you can see the leading on my text here is uniform and it's very small because I have a lot of text. Sometimes I change the leading of my line so that it's very, very readable. So we have alignment. Okay, this is class one. Class one, what? Lesson. So we have left alignment. It's so funny that most people do not know when to use this and when not to use it. So left alignment is also called flash text. Text lines on the left side, creating a straight margin on the right. This is a common alignment for body text. When you open Microsoft Word, start typing, the default setting is left alignment. Right alignment, text lines up to the right side, creating a straight margin on the left. It's less commonly used for body text as it can create jagged edges on the left side. So on the left side to look weird. And we'll say the visual hierarchy, someone scans from left to right, the eyes. So for right alignment, you will have jagged lines on the left. So center alignment places text in the middle of the available space, creating equal margins on both sides. So text is here, white space on the left. It can work well for short headings or titles, but is less practical for body text due to potential inconsistency in line lengths. Justified alignments align text flash on the left side by adding a space between characters and words. It creates clean margins on both sides that the increased spacing between words can sometimes result in awkward word spacing known as reverse. So left alignment creates jagged edges on the right. So sometimes you write where your sentence ends. That's when, your line ends. So you might find, depending on the words that you use, will have jagged edges on the right. Right alignment creates jagged edges on the left. Okay. Center alignment, we can say the jagged edges are down, something. And justified, it adds spaces or compresses text at the middle so that the left and the right are okay. So you should know how to use these things in your design. Let's go to the sweetest part. It's what we call font pairing. So this refers to the practice of combining two or more different fonts in design to create a harmonious and visually appealing typographic composition. So when working with graphic design projects, website, or any other visual content that involves text, choosing the right fonts and pairing them effectively is crucial for enhancing readability, conveying the right tone, and maintaining the overall design aesthetics. So when you want to do a good font pairing, you need fonts that complement each other. Okay, in terms of style, weight, and even how they look. So the goal is always to create a very good balanced and cohesive typographic hierarchy. Okay, so there are various approaches to font pairing. First thing is contrasting fonts. It involves combining fonts with distinct styles, such as pairing a serif and a sans serif. Your newspaper, your magazine can do that. So you have a sans serif font and a sans serif font as the heading, and a serif font as the body. Okay, so it adds visual interest and create clear distinctions between different types of content. So you can have an example there. You can see the left is not that harmonious. Okay, the right one has very good harmony. So similar fonts, this involves the use of fonts from the same family. So we can have something called a font family. A font family can be one font that is thick, medium, and light, very light, and all those things. So we can have, let's say, railway font. We can have black, we can have heavy, we can have bold, we can have semi-bold, we can have regular, we can have light, and we can have extra light. Okay, so similar font, you can have a heavy font family on top, and you can have a light or a regular version on the body. So size and hierarchy, playing with font sizes can help establish a clear typographic hierarchy, making it easy for the reader to distinguish headlines, subheadings, and body text. So we can have, this is the one for header. This is a subheading that can be very light, and you can have a gray color, not complete white, and you can have the body text. Okay, so I hope our comms guys are really getting a lot from this in their reports and all these things. So we can have X height. X height font pairings are a typographic technique that involves selecting fonts based on their X height, which is the height of the lowercase x in relation to the overall font size. Okay, so you can have a font that, X height, you can have the X that pairs let's say I have X. X is like the standard width of a font. When you put the X width there, and let's say you write A to Z, so you will use the X to pair it with another font. Okay, I've lost a lot of you, but don't worry, wake up. So mood. If I use a script font to write you a love letter, and I use that Daily Nation serif font to write you a love letter, let's say Priscilla, which of these two letters are you likely to reply if we are in high school? Of course, the one with the script. And that's why we had to do these calligraphy things on our envelopes and all this stuff, so that, you know, it's appealing to the lady. Okay? Because mood pairing, it involves selecting fonts based on their mood or emotional tone. That's why you see in our website, you will find, you know, we have a sans serif, it's an official website, and then the signature is written in a what? In a signature font. Let's go to color theory. Okay, color theory is very, very beautiful. There are only two classes of people that majorly use this in this country. I don't know why. Just interior designers and graphic design. Fashion designers, there's a bit of work needed here. Even website designers have not fully, you know, made use of the colors. It's a field of study and practical application that explores how colors interact with each other and how they can be used effectively in art designs and various visual disciplines. So even as a photographer, knowing color theory can make you better than the rest. Okay, it encompasses the principles and guidelines for understanding color relationship, harmonies, contrasts, and psychological effects. It helps artists, designers, and anyone working with colors to make informed decisions about color palettes, compositions, and visual communication. So with that, we are brought to the types of colors. So we have primary colors. These are the fundamental colors that cannot be added by mixing other colors. RYB. Okay. Primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. Most of people who did, who are in school many years ago, you learned this in school. But I think everyone did this in school, science. And actually, I never thought I would ever need this ever in my whole life. So it was not until that I came and I'm like a graphic designer and I'm like very, very troubled about color. That's when I realized, wait, these are the things that I learned in class 4 science. Okay, so we have red, blue, and yellow as the primary colors. We have secondary colors. Secondary colors are colors obtained by mixing two primary colors, like blue and yellow, get green. Yellow plus red, we get orange, and red plus blue, we get purple. So we have tertiary colors. They are created by mixing a primary color with a neighboring secondary color on the color wheel. So for example, red, orange, blue, green are tertiary colors. Okay, so we have things like now the color wheel. As you can see, we have the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. So if I mix red and blue, I get this thing, purple. If I mix blue and yellow, I get this thing. Okay. If I mix this red and yellow, get orange. If I mix wait, I'm even confused. Yes, there is red, and this orange, I get red orange, which is here. Yes. So that is just how the color wheel is like. It's mostly the colors of the rainbow. They usually go around like that. So there's one more color that you add with the colors of the rainbow. So color properties. We said we're going to tackle this. You've come across something like hue, saturation, shade, tint. These are essential concepts in color theory that describe different aspects of colors. Understanding these color properties allows designers and artists to create a wide range of color variation and effectively manipulate colors in their artwork or designs. So we have hue. Hue is the pure color itself. Okay. So you can use a fancy word instead of saying what colors are you using for your design. You can say what are the hues that you're using for the design. So the pure color itself, red, blue, and green. Saturation is the intensity or vividness of a color, ranging from fully saturated to desaturated. So when you remove the saturation of a color, it becomes something we call grayscale. So shade, if you add a color and you add black, you get different shades of that color. Okay. If you add white to that color, you get something called tint. So you can get different tints of that color. Very simple. So we got something called color harmonies, one of the sweetest things to learn. So we have something called monochromatic. So you can use these color harmonies even in your dressing. It's the good thing. So monochromatic are colors that are different shades, tints, and tones of a single color. This harmony involves using variations such as a hue. Involves using variations of one hue, such as light blue, medium blue, and dark blue. Monochromatic harmonies create a sophisticated and unified look, relying on the subtlety of varying tones. So all of these colors are brown. Okay. You see the first one seems like I have added black. The second one seems like I have added white. Just giving examples. So I have different tints. The third one seems like that's the original tone of this palette. And the other one seems that I have added black. Okay. So we are just playing with one color. That's what we call monochromatic, mono from one. So you create different shades and tints on that color. You get a harmony. So see, if I'm rocking blue, I can do, a dark blue coat. Okay. I can do a light blue, what is it called? A t-shirt. I can do another shade of blue in my jeans. Okay. And some other shade of blue in my shoes. Okay, that is a monochromatic harmony. So analogous are colors adjacent to each other on the color wheel. This harmony involves using colors that are closely related, such as red, orange, and yellow or blue, purple, and pink. Analogous harmonies create a sense of cohesiveness, making them a popular choice for creating a calming and a unified color scheme. Actually, if you just look at these colors, you're like, you just want to relax. This is because they are close to each other on the color wheel. So let me go back to the color wheel so that I show you what analogous means. You see, we have these three colors, 1, 2, 3. Okay. These three colors, this is what we call analogous coloring. They are close to each other, and they create that warm feel on whenever you want to look at them. So if I'm doing, let's say, a spa website, I don't know why I'm talking about spas today. Maybe I've missed spas. I will use such warm colors. If, let's say, I'm doing a mental health website, I can use such colors. If, I have the liberty of advising the client on color. But if I find time, most clients usually look at their competitors and they're like, you know what? I want this color. And there's nothing you can really tell about them. I've seen a question by Priscilla. Are analogous colors the same as pastels? No. Okay. I will tell you about them at the Q&A. So complementary colors are located opposite to each other on the color wheel. This harmony involves pairing the colors like red and green, blue and orange, yellow and purple, and they create vibrant contrast and make each other appear more intense when placed together. You can see the colors of Bright, okay? Bright Consulting. We have the pink and the blue, okay? These are complementary colors. As you can see, we have this blue here, and we have the pink on this opposite side. So they create very good contrast with each other. So you find websites that, or logos or all these things that are created using complementary colors, they usually pop, and because they have very good contrast. So we have split complementary. Split complementary colors are a variation of the complementary harmony. This involves pairing a color with the two colors adjacent to its complement. For example, pairing a blue with yellow, orange, and pairing blue with the yellow orange and red orange. Split complementary harmonies provide a balance and contrast and harmony. Let me get back to my color wheel and I show you what a split complementary is. So if I take, let's say, this blue, okay, I go straight, it's complementary. No, let's say I take this orange, okay, its complementary color will be this purple, okay, because they're directly opposite to each other. A split complementary, this is what it involves. I will draw a line to the middle or to the 3/4 of this color wheel here, and then I will split this line here and here. So I will have 1, 2, 3 as split complementary. So complementary is straight. Split complementary is, follow my mouse, me going straight here to the 3/4 of this color wheel, and then instead of going straight, I split with the adjacent complementary color. So it will be this, this, and this. Another example, this blue is complementary to this. Let me use the primary colors. So this green is complementary to this red. So to create a split complementary, I will draw a line to the 3/4 here and use this orange and this pink as my split complementary. So I'll have 1, 2, 3. So this is split complementary, these 3 colors. So complementary is direct opposite. Split complementaries are the 2 colors that are adjacent to the complementary colors. So we have triadic. Triadic involves just drawing a square, okay, in the color wheel. So if this is my color wheel, I'll just draw, no, not a square, sorry. I will draw a triangle. So I will do 1, 2, 3, like this. So they're evenly spaced around the color wheel, forming an equilateral triangle. Equilateral means everything is equal. In every line is equal in the triangle. This harmony involves using 3 colors that are equally distant from each other, such as red, yellow, and blue, or orange, green, and purple. Triadic harmonies create bold and energetic color schemes while maintaining a balanced visual contrast. Let us go to this thing. So you see this triangle that is already drawn here. This is a triadic harmony. We can have red, yellow, and blue. You can see these are very, 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 very bold colors. Triadic harmonies are usually very complicated. I've tried to use them, but I've not mastered them. I will master them very soon because I find them too bold, and I just need to, know how to use them. Of course, there are so many palettes out there, but for me, I love studying my palettes and see how they were formed. So that is why color theory is something that I'm really, really interested in. So we have something called tetradic. Tetradic is just drawing a square instead of, a triangle. So they consist 2 sets of complementary colors, forming a rectangle on the color wheel. This involves using 4 colors, 2 pairs of complements such as blue, green, red, orange. Tetradic harmonies offer a diverse and dynamic color scheme, but they require careful balance to avoid overwhelming the design. So like this, a tetradic color harmony, as you can see, and sometimes using them is also crazy. Triadic and tetradic are colors that I'm really, really, really looking at, their formation and how to use them. So you can see this and this are opposite to each other on the color wheel. So they are complementary. This and this are opposite on each other, so they are complementary. This and this are opposite on each other, so they are complementary, same as this and this. So this forms a tetradic harmony. So we go to color modes, color models. So color models, it's also known as color spaces or color systems. They are mathematical representations that define how colors are created, displayed, and reproduced in various digital and physical media. Color models help standardize and communicate color information between devices and applications. Different color models have distinct purposes and are used for different contexts. Here are some of the common color models. Very simple. We have RGB. RGB is what you're using right now to access this meeting. For this slide to be presented to your screen, only 3 colors were used. Okay, it's called an additive color model. From 3 colors, you get all other colors. So they are used in displays, digital displays, like monitors, TVs, your phone, and they are created by just mixing these colors at varying intensities. So full intensity of all these 3 colors involved in white. So it simply means that if I mix red, green, and blue on displays, I will get white. Okay. So it's the primary color model for electronic devices, web design, and digital images. So this is what we use as web designers for even photographers. The composition of that photo is RGB. Okay, those are things we call color space. Okay, for those who edit, we have different color spaces, and there are so many. You have HSL, HSV, but you're just going to tackle 2 major ones. Okay, so it's called an additive color model. So we have CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and key. Okay, key is also black. So that's why we say CMYK, because key represents black. So it's a subtractive color model. It's primarily used for printing. Okay, so printers in downtown, they know what CMYK is. It's called that because you have to subtract colors to get white. Colors are created by combining cyan, magenta, yellow, and black inks on a white surface, usually mostly paper, t-shirt, wherever. It's used in the printing industry to reproduce colors on paper and other physical materials. So you find that if I design a very beautiful business card and I have on display, it looks very amazing because I have used RGB. When I print, because digital displays are for RGB, if I go and print that business card in the same color space, RGB, I will not get the same colors. Okay, so this is why we need to convert that design into CMYK. Okay, so this explains for those of you who are just beginners, you printed something, okay, the client approved it, but when you went, you designed something, the client approved it, but when you went to print it, the client said, no, this looks different, and even shows you, and you're wondering what's the problem. PR experts here in the house, okay, you've given a supplier an artwork, okay, you have it in RGB, okay, they print in CMYK. You may disqualify them because that is not what you offered, but now that was not their problem, because how color and how prints are displayed on screens is not the same way it's done in print. So whenever you are doing designs for print, always use CMYK. Okay, photographers, if you are looking to print that photo, let's say someone is having a graduation and they want their photos printed on their t-shirts, convert it to CMYK for print, so that whatever the client sees is what will be on that t-shirt. But the variation mostly is not that much. So I think this is our last topic, the psychology of color. So color is a very important in developing your brand. You can determine how your brand is perceived. Most sophisticated brands have black as their primary color, and most children brands have playful colors that evoke excitement and playfulness. So red is the color of what? Passion and excitement. Coca-Cola. It's perfect choice if your brand identity is loud, youthful, and exciting. Okay, Coca-Cola and all those things. So we have orange, Fanta. It's another high energy color that is great if you want to appear friendly and playful. It's used less commonly than red. Will also make you stand out. Yellow is the color of sunshine. Okay, I had done a neon color. I think I will actually just share that PPT here on the color here, so that you see what I really mean with this. I think and just share that because it has examples. Okay, but you can just go through this. So we have green. Green can just be used for any brand. Cultural, when you see green, you see money, nature. So if your brand is tied to either of these things, green is a good choice. We have blue, most universally appealing color. So appear more stable and trustworthy. Okay, so if you're looking to appeal to a wide demographic, you go with green. Purple is the color of royalty. So if There's a luxurious feel in your branding. Is a safe bet. Pink, tight femininity. That's why most feminine products are pink. Brown, actually, it's the least color used in all branding. Uh, it can be used as rugged and masculine. Okay. Black, modern or sophisticated. You see most brands that do luxury goods, they use black. So here we go. We have an infographic on all these things. I think I will share this so that you can see what I really mean. So I just adapted this from one of the classes that I did. What is branding, because I was thinking of not to share it, but I said let me just do a mention. It was a class on how to create your brand. Yeah, all these things are on the website. So you're going to go straight to this is brand personality. This is we have very good content on the Bright Academy. You see, these are brand personalities that will tell you on how to create your brand and all these things. And these are the things will help you in business. There's a course that says entrepreneurship for designers. It's here. It tells you the colors you can use for your logo and all those things. So we're talking of ruggedness. You see, that's why Timberland uses brown. You can see it's the granny of the earth. You can see sophistication. You can see the black here. The Zara is black. The Gucci. We are here on colors, psychology of colors. Where are they? Yes, I think it's this one. Yes, you can see the orange. Okay, it's used for passion. Okay, show enthusiasm and boldness. You can see the blue. That's why so many social media use blue color. You see the Uber, they're black and white to show sophistication. Where else? Going back, Calvary, using the purple. Okay. You can see the red here to show life and energy and all those things. So go to Bright Academy. You will get to learn about a lot of things that you never knew about. For those who want to start businesses, you will get to know what are buyer personas. You just don't go and start a business. Who are you selling to? You get to know about audience segmentation, see your primary audience, secondary audience, and all these things. Target audience, who you are serving. See? People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. That's why you can have someone with a very bad output, but it's flowing you down. So that is exactly what it means. So go to that class and learn about brand personalities. And there's a lot of things that I've done here, but it's sad that most of you guys don't take these things very serious. That's why I want to start charging them, so that at least they have value. Okay, so how to design your logo, brand assets, social media presence, and all these things. So tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. So these are my sources I've had all there. So I'm going to share this PPT with you on the website for those people who could not attend. Thank you for reading this amazing resource. I've poured my heart and my soul into it. It's long since I did a class. It's because I've been very busy. Share this free resource to as many people as you can. We have a WhatsApp group. We are a community of young people who are always willing to learn and share ideas. So you can join our Bright Academy WhatsApp group for those who have not joined. Alpha, Blair, you can share the WhatsApp group on the chat. You see, you can log in and register as a student at Bright Academy. There's a lot of resources for you there, a lot. This is me. If someone told me I don't put, it's like I don't want money, I don't want people to support me. Good. So someone told me I am very rich, I look very rich, and was wondering if he could send me 200 shillings for the job well done. I told him, you know what? Even when you do that, I will really, even if it's 50 bob, I will appreciate. It's a blessing. Okay? It's a blessing for me. I believe about blessings. That's why I share these things with you. That's why I share these things with you. So that's why the guy really moved me. He told me, you know what? I've got no money for fees. I've got no money for fees. And what you're doing has taught me a lot. Okay. And that person really went ahead to do all these things. So if you feel like you want to give, there's a pay bill there for, that is for my company. Even if it's 20 shillings, do it, because you might feel it. You might feel you want it, you want to do it, and maybe I'm limiting you, I don't. So this will go more into, I have staff that I pay. You don't know. This thing will help me with staff and all, even buying them airtime, appreciating them for the work that they're doing and all that. So you can reach me through siloma@brightconsulting.com. If you have any question, ideas, and all these things. I think I have a short number that I did. This is an old thing that I do. So it's a free trainings. I will have a paid one very soon that I will teach a lot about business. I will combine every single thing I will teach. It will be a masterclass from hero to zero. I'm going to teach about all these things. I combine it in one lesson. I even teach you about how to register a business, how to do iTax, how to do all these things, even how to get clients. So I'm going to teach about all that, put it in one masterclass. So the easiest thing you can do for me is to share my work on WhatsApp status. I do websites, so there's content there. Maybe Alpha, you can share it on the group. Need a website. That's it. You can share it. Let people know about what we do. That's the best thing you can do for us. Yeah. So share it on the group, on the chat. That is. That's what I will really appreciate. So thank you so much, guys. You can follow us on social media, Bright Consulting, and all that. And you can contact us. Yes, so just go search Bright Consulting. If you need a website, you have someone who needs a website, point them to us. Let us all gain from this. Let me also gain from your circles as well. So, questions. This is a point where you have a question, you have a comment, good comment, share it. Don't necessarily need to have a question. So, Priscilla.
Hi.
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much. I think I have been looking for this, like, I would say, all my entire life. Thank you for the practical approach. Easy, step by step, and clear teaching of what you had set out to do. Now, I have a number of questions. I was jotting them down as I listened. Because I realized when I shared the questions on the chat, I was sort of interrupting the flow. So I have quite a number. Number one, Because I realize this is lesson 4. Could you
Yes.
kindly share the recordings for 1 to 3? As you mentioned, we are moving into practicals, so at least we know what it is we are doing.
Yes.
Okay, that's number 1. Then number 2.
Let me answer.
Yes.
Let me answer what I don't forget.
Sure.
Let me just end this and just open for you. So go to Bright Academy, okay, .com. You will find this website. Okay, this is where everything is. Go to courses. You will find 2 courses. So we have web development in WordPress and Elementor, and web entrepreneurship for creatives. All of them are free, yes, as of now. So when you open web development in WordPress and Elementor, go to curriculum. You will learn about domain and hosting, navigating the cPanel, content management system, and all these things. Okay.
Okay.
So let me just open one of them. So you will be prompted to create an account. Just create an account, confirm. So these videos will be here. Okay. Course description, all these things. You'll have, this is a 2-hour video, and you will have the course content that you can download. This exact and here that you're seeing here. You can download, your browser supports it. You can view it online, as you can see. Everything is there. So when you're done, see, the system will tell you have completed it. So I have 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. So I have 8 hours of study. This is the 10th hour.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. I'll do that.
Yes.
Number 2, how does a company pick its brand colors? I don't know if you would know, but it's just a question that popped in my mind when you were talking about brand colors.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go back. Go to this course, Entrepreneurship for Creatives. Okay. When you go to Entrepreneurship for Creatives, go to curriculum. Okay. So start from what is your identity. Okay. When you start with what is your identity, you will get, let me just give you overviews. What is your identity? You just go to course content. It's what you will learn about. You will know who you are. And this is the first place, knowing what your company is all about. So you see, if you can have multiple identities, if you can change, protect, how to do all these things. And now knowing that who you are, you have to know that you're a brand, and that everyone is a brand and all that. What a brand is, okay? Mentalities, because that is where you start as a company. A company is a person. A company is not just an entity. It's formed by someone. It has a feel. Okay, that's why if I do my design and you do your design, it will be very different.
True.
And if it were done by the same person. So after you've known your identity and brand, you come now to the second one, which is how to create your brand. So from there, you will learn about difference between a brand identity, brand image, and branding. Okay, you will learn how to create a strong brand identity, know about brand story, about services, your vision, mission, values, and what they mean. Now you will know your audience. Now you will know your brand personality. Okay, this is where you ask yourself, if my brand were human, okay, how will it look like? And that's now where you go to color. Okay, you will know something called brand personalities. From the brand personalities, that's where now your color come from. Okay. So If it, am I there for sophistication, ruggedness, and all that? Because I cannot have a Gucci that is pink, okay, and I want to sell it to men. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm selling it to lady, I can have a pink one. So you get your brand colors from your brand voice or brand personality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's now when I teach you to develop your brand design, the look and feel, typography to to colors and all that. Okay, and how to design your brand elements as well. So everything is on the website regarding that.
Thank you.
Yes.
For the non-graphic designers,
Mhm.
but in this day and age, we're using Canva, Lucid Press, or Genially, among the others.
Mhm.
How can we correctly
Mhm.
get our brand colors? You've mentioned about RGB, CYMK. So I know a lot of the newer graphic designers don't necessarily, I could be wrong, or I'm speaking from my personal perspective. I'm not really into Adobe, but I really want to nail, the correct brand colors. But I'm using, for example, Lucid Press or Canva. How do I ensure that I get the correct or use the correct color codes?
Go to this website called colors with a double O .co. So
Mm-hmm.
here you can generate your colors. Okay. So you can explore trending palettes if you're starting from zero. Of course, you will have a base color. Now that you've known my brand personality, let's say it's purple.
Yeah.
Okay. So uh, I can explore the trending palettes of these things and say and look for a purple. So this is a purple, right? So you see this purple can go well with this pink, can go well with this orange, can go with this shade of yellow and this and this. And you can see we have the color codes. So most web colors are hex code. Hex code, they have a hash. So if I'm going to through pastels like this, see, this is also a purple. This is also a purple. So let's say I have a base color. Okay. This is my base color.
Mm-hmm.
I will come and I say start the generator. You can also generate colors using this website. Okay. How? The first thing is to copy that hex code here. How do I get hex code? I can have something we call an extension. You go, if you're using Chrome, you go to Chrome Web Store. Sorry. Just search Chrome Web Store and then you'll go to extensions, and search something called Colorzilla, one of the eyedroppers that we have. Actually, you might know this, but this is for every person who does not know about anything. So go to Colorzilla, add to Chrome, and then you come here. You can pin it. It will be like this. So you come and pin it to your to your to your bar here. So let's say I love a logo. Okay, I will search purple logos. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for my base color. See, there are so many here. So let's say I love this one. I'll just click my Colorzilla and tap it and wait over on it until it shows here. Seems that I can't pick it, but I can click on this image so that it's bigger and I can take, you see, Nona Palejo, we have it can pick color. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if this is the color and it says copy to clipboard. So I will go to this website called colors and I will just click here and I will paste. Okay. Then I will click the padlock icon, and all I need to do is press space. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It will generate me colors. Okay. If I want purple and red, purple and yellow, you see, I can just drag any color. So let's say I've loved this as my second colors. I will lock it and continue generating a third color. Okay. Let's say I love this green. I will hold here and just lock it. If I want a fourth color, same thing. Okay. Let's say I've loved this one. I will put this one here and lock this one as well. So I can have my primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Or I can have my primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. These are used for my buttons. Maybe these are for my, visual elements and all that. Just for my minor visual elements in my website, these I'll use it for my buttons. So I have all the color codes here for Xcode. But at the moment, you don't really need to trouble yourself. You don't really need to trouble yourself with, achieving it and being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Have a business that stands. Okay. Don't go, a business is not a logo. No. There are businesses that are here without any branding, visual representation whatsoever, and they're making money. What you should be concerned about is making money. So if you're in the business of printing, that's when you should be concerned about all these things. But you can always convert colors and have convertacolor.com. See? So if this is my color, this is RGB. RGB is represented by something called a hex code, a hash and 6 numbers. E04 represents red, 8B represent green, A8G. So it's the intensity of color. So it's hexadecimal. So I can copy this, place it here. And I will have the RGB, I'll have the HSL, hue, saturation, and whatever. And I'll have CMYK. So I can have my CMYK here. You can always convert any color that you want. But if you're starting out, don't bother yourself a lot. If maybe that's your interest, you can go in. But I want to start a business simply. Go to Canva, get a logo, get started. Okay. So the idea is to have the business. If you get more money, that's when you can invest in a good designer and visual identity. So most people, I see most young people going, I want the best logo ever, I want the best website ever, but there's no business. Concentrate on the business. You can just have something as a placeholder. Yes. And as you grow with it. But even if you want to nail it at a go, there's everything here. But know that you cannot do everything because, like me, I have 10 years, let's say, experience. You're starting out. Okay? So you might end up spending a lot of time on designing a logo than improving your business.
Yeah, true. Okay, but my apologies. Probably let me just give a context. I'm asking because I am employed and I also work in communications and marketing. So that's why I'm tying my queries to current work experience so that, getting some clarity now that I'm in class. I hope that makes sense.
No problem.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you. Two more. Just one tied to colors, primary and secondary. Must you always use all the primary and or secondary colors when making any design? Can you choose to stick to primary only? Must you always combine when you're doing any design?
So that's why we talked about color harmonies. I love using very, very, very practical examples. So look at Safaricom. How many colors do you see in their logo?
2.
2. Okay. Let's scroll. Have you seen the red being used anywhere?
Nah, majorly green.
Okay. KCB, how many can you see in their logo?
3.
3. Okay. How many are you seeing?
2.
You're seeing 2. I'm seeing 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah. True.
1, 2, 3. You have this other one that is forming a very, very good harmony.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, how many are you seeing now?
Plus 3.
7.
Yes.
Good. But here is only 1. Okay. I can do a c.com. So, how many colors are you seeing?
3. Blue, green, and the black against
Yes.
the white. So 4. 3 or 4.
No, this is just a background. We're talking about this. Is
Me.
that 3?
Yes.
Okay. How many? What is dominant?
The blue.
Are you even seeing the green anywhere?
Just.
You're just seeing it in
Yeah.
fonts.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's up to you, provided you don't clash the harmony.
Okay, good. Thank you for the examples. Last but not least, in terms of typography, up to what extent can one get creative outside of the set brand fonts? Are you allowed? Is it a crime? Is it okay?
Now, there's something called brand consistency. Okay. Depends on the strictness of your brand. Now, there's this plugin is called WordFont. Still an extension. You can go install it. Look, we have SC Sans Bold. Standard Chartered have got their own font. Okay. SC Sans Medium, they are using one font family. SC Sans Regular, they are using one font family across. Okay. KCB, they are using DIN Pro, Medium, Regular, as you can see. Unlike color, typography is like 3/4 they denied. These people are using Futura, Safaricom. They're using Futura, a font family. Okay. All this is because it's not loaded well. Now, as you can see, they have a consistent typography. Okay. Now, let's go to Samsung.com. Typography has a lot to do with your brand personality and your brand voice. See, they're using their own font family. It's called Samsung One. Okay. Samsung Sharp Sans and all that. And you've seen this in Samsung shops. You've seen this Galaxy Z, this type of typography that complements the design of what? Of their phones. If there is something you're very, very, very limited in terms of design, is your font. And that's why having a clear-cut brand manual is very, 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 very key. So if we go to somewhere like apple.com, their typography forms who they are. Okay, what are they using? SF Pro text. You can see it looks Apple. Okay,
Yeah.
this is not their colors. As you can see, these are backgrounds. They can use any color they want, but they cannot play with the font all around, even in their phones. MacBook Air, they cannot change this. Why? For some reason, font gets in so much than color. So look at these colors. Okay, we even have a red here, apple, a rotten, this is the rotten tomato, looks like an apple. Okay, but for font, yeah, even presentations, they can use the yellow, the green, all these things. They can use any color that they want. But for the font, you mostly you stick to what you are.
Okay.
That's why even for me as well, you can see, where is my, you see, I will do my outfit and my lato. Okay, the same fonts that are here. Okay, same fonts that are here. So sometimes, like what made me change my font on my presentation here as I'm doing them, because these are not the same fonts that I use on my website, is because they refused to render. Okay, and I had to teach a class. So here I'm using Avatar font family. But I had to look for something that looks very, 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 very close. Let's say if it's an organization and I am using a font like, let's say, Avenue. Okay? The Avenue font, let me just show you how Avenue looks like. This is how Avenue looks like. This is the font that I have. But let's say I have a very big organization. This is a downloaded font. And what is available on Microsoft Word, people cannot get it. I can do a substitute font that looks very close to what Avenue looks like. Something like, let's say, Segoe UI. You see, I have the same glyphs. Same as this. So I can do font because we are mostly limited with Microsoft Word. If let's say I have offices around the country, I can have a substitute font in my brand manual that is available on something like Microsoft Word. Manishika?
Kabisa.
Yes.
Thank you very much for answering my questions. Asante.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Questions, comments? You guys are scared? We're talking complex stuff? Okay. Any one of you can give us a joke. So anyone else with a question? Okay, comments? Ian's creative saying she has learned a lot from the lesson and from the questions from Priscilla. So Priscilla, thank you for asking the questions. You really, really helped someone. So Alpha, you have a question.
For me, it's actually more of a comment.
Okay.
I think there is so much learning I've had, especially on the rhythm and some of the elements. That was because actually I had a problem with color grading and a
Yes.
bit of typography, because most times in my first days of learning design, I was going for the best fonts that are appealing to my eyes, but
Yes.
I think even maybe if a client ever reaches out, I always have to look for the brand manual, at least to understand what the brand is all about. Because most times I just used to make designs, like, yeah, client wants this poster, I just do it. So I
Yeah.
think that is a very big point of reference for me. And yeah, I really love that we had this call. It's been really, really, really educative. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that's why I told you not to miss this class.
Yeah, gladly I was in.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh, yes, Elon.
Okay, so for me, I think I learned a lot, more so about the color and color balance. It's always challenging sometimes, but I
Yes.
have to thank you for taking your time preparing the presentation for us and also making time for us. Thank you so much and God bless you.
You're welcome. So, a point to note: color. Color is one of the hardest things ever. Okay. So the reason why I told Alpha was asking a question, I had told him to join this class. It's because we were actually doing a logo. Yeah? We were doing a logo, and color itself. And you have a brand manual. I want to give you a very good example here. I think I have a very old brand manual, mine that I had created. I've never liked it. I keep saying I'll have to redo it, but let us just use it because I have got no option. Now, this is my brand manual. Okay, for that day, it's a very old one. So I need to update it. It's a very basic one. It has even the old logo. Okay, these are my color palettes. I really don't have this. So even there's an error here. There's not blue. There's this purple and all that. So you see, I was using Montserrat and Poppins. Okay, this is when I was just getting started because I've always wanted to have a very, 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 very good brand out there. So I hope you're seeing this.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, okay. So this is the brand manual that I had. Okay. Now, as you can see, I just have two major colors: this fuchsia and this blue. As you can see, this one and this one, I had to tone them down because they were very shouty. Now, let me just put an illustrator thing here. So this is a logo you see we were creating like recently. I don't know where the lag is at. I'm getting a lot of lag on that screen. So we were creating a logo recently, and you just have, you see, a palette of two colors. Okay, just two colors, and it's hard. It's hard for you. Why? Because coloring has never been easy. Okay, so don't feel that, you know what, I really do not need this. I really do not know this. Even in videography, color grading, even in photography, color grading has not been easy. It's not such an easy thing. These are things that you learn and learn and learn. And today's people are still discovering color palettes, good color harmonies. So that's why I was even telling you I want to explore the triadic and the tetradic colors very well, because every time I try to mix them just from the color wheel, I get something very weird. But you know, when I go to website like Colors and just get these things, it's very easy. You're wondering, okay, these are amazing stuff. Yes, so don't intimidated by color. It has never been the easiest thing. That's why people color clash their clothes and all these things. But you know, very many people have color clashed their clothes before, and a new fashion has come up. That's how fashion has come. You can see when the celebrities, they do a lot of color clashing and it becomes a trending thing. Yes. So Obed here says, thank you for the session. I don't want to miss your next session. Obed, you're still in? You left. Sawa. So any other question? Jeff? Obed? Wangari? Okay, so sawa. Any other questions? Okay, so thank you so much, guys. When you go to the website, please make sure you attend all the other classes. The next class is going to, for those who just stumbled on this class, we are learning actually no-code website development. You don't need to learn any programming language. You just need to come and present yourself, and you will be a web developer. So I need people I will work with. I will need people I will work with this journey. People who will create a website from start to end, and we will review them. So I know the people who have been very consistent. We have Ian's Creative has been very consistent, and Elon. So be ready for your next class. Guys, we're going to do now fully web development. Have your domains ready and hosting, because I will mark and I will guide you. Actually, in these classes, there are times we'll be doing practicals, we'll be correcting your websites and all those things. So if you've ever wanted to own your website, take this advantage, because I will be able to guide you and have the best portfolio website, even for yourself or for your business. So thank you so much. May God bless you, and continue giving unto others. Share these links to your WhatsApp groups for people who would want this, because there are so many people I know who want this. The group is the chat. We have the chat link in the group. You can join the Bright Academy WhatsApp group. So thank you so much. Have a nice time, and God bless.